All right, we're back live. Back live. The
Cold
second
intros
time.
are the worst.
Would you say? Well, I
Cold
couldn't.
intros are
I
the
couldn't. I
worst.
couldn't do the. I couldn't do the full countdown timer. People would have been pissed off if I did that again. So, these are the pains of being in a new subdivision, man. I mean, shit. Damn construction going on. Yeah. Hop back into that trade. I'm back in it. Hold on,
Yeah.
Cole. Let's let a couple of people get in here. For those of you, yes, Elijah Moore. Yes, Elijah Moore. It's coming. Let me pull that back up. Let me pull the rumor mill back up. Y'all know it is these are the pains of a new subdivision. They are literally 3 houses right outside. They're trying to finish those up. So I mean, goddamn, man, they got to stop doing that. All right. Can I redo my draft guesses? I did it at 1-8. Nope. Lindsey Mack, your draft guesses are locked in. But where were we at? We were talking about this trade, right? We were talking about this trade. And the
Yes,
reason
sir.
why I think it makes sense, Jay, like I don't like it. I wouldn't do it. But the entire like pre-draft process, man, or since the NFL season, the Jets have been they've been telegraphing the fact that they want a receiver. They want, and not
Yeah.
just a rookie receiver. It seems like they want a veteran guy, right? They were in on Tyreek Hill. Now there's rumors about Deebo Samuel. So for whatever reason, they think that they can compete because these seem to be like, if you're trading for Tyreek Hill, if you're trading for Deebo Samuel, these are moves you make like when you're competing, right? Like these are guys that can push us over the top. This is a receiver that can take our offense to the next level. And maybe they just view it in those terms. Like they're looking at it, let's give Zach Wilson for the next 2 to 3 years the best possible weapons, and maybe we can make this Cincinnati type run. So while I think it's a lot, I just, my question around the Jets, how much do they trust Elijah Moore, man? Like, how much do they, if he were, like, you don't see, I'm just wondering, man, like, how much do they think he could be, like, the guy, right? How much do they believe Elijah Moore can be the guy? Because if you trade him away for, like, you're trading him away plus whatever receiver you can get at 10, it's a question mark. Again, I don't think I would do this deal, but we see NFL teams do shit like this all the time, man. All the time. Like we saw Dallas trade Amari Cooper for a 6th-round pick. Like we just, and he's still one of the better receivers in the NFL. So while we sit back and say there's absolutely no way I can do this, it just makes me wonder what the Jets
Well,
feel about Elijah Moore, man.
definitely, but I think you're making a not the wrong comparison, but in my opinion, they'd be like the Bengals trading T. Higgins last year, or the Indianapolis Colts trading Michael Pittman 2 years ago. That's where it's difficult, and I get Elijah Moore didn't play a ton of games, but when he played, he looked pretty good. Not just from a fantasy standpoint, like unless he was a headache behind the scenes or something. Like I'm not trying to say he was anything, right? And I do love Elijah Moore. I think he could be great, but I think neither of us project him to be the number one wide receiver. It just seems like if they made this trade, San Francisco's like, yeah, we can make Elijah Moore good. And Robert Saleh is being like, I know that Debo is good. I saw him every day in practice, in games,
Right.
like I just feels like they're just getting a guy that they know is good instead of trying to work with a guy who could be really good. But then on top of that, they would be trading away who we presume to be another player who could be as good, if not better than Elijah Moore in Garrett Wilson, Drake London, Jamison Williams at 10. So if you're the Niners, you're getting a player who is supremely talented in Elijah Moore. You're probably, and at 10, do they even take a receiver? Like, if you were the San Francisco 49ers, where would you even go at 10? Would you
Yeah.
go offensive line? Would you go defensive line? Like, or would you, wow. Okay, Ray, imagine if that put them in the Derek Stingley sweepstakes at 10. Because realistically, they could be there to take a top cornerback. For the Jets, it just feels like they're trying so hard to get a guy they know, they trust, they believe in, instead of actually trying to develop a receiver who can be worth it. And they're just trying to pay their way to the top, and that's just not a way that's going to win in the NFL. You have to develop players, you have to draft good players.
All right. Another rumor. So GM Scott Fitterer told Sam Darnold that the Panthers may draft a quarterback. No shit, Sherlock. They're not going in the season with Sam Darnold. and I think the same rumor mill NFL rumor mill account said that that the Panthers are open to taking one at 6, right? So
Yeah.
my question is, where do they go? Give us your prediction. Because everybody's saying you're seeing one set of NFL draft analysts saying that they're not going to take a quarterback. Quarterback's not going to come off the board to the teens, to the 20s. But Carolina's
Yeah.
sitting at 6. Like, everyone knows this, right? But do you think they actually pull the trigger? Because there's a lot of smoke screens that they're not going to do it. They're going to pass on a quarterback, take an offensive tackle. What do you think, man? Who is it going to be? And do they pull the trigger at 6 or do they trade back?
I think they just pass on quarterback. I don't think they
You
necessarily
do.
trade back. I think at 6 they pass. Yes, I think at 6 they pass, and I think there's a better shot of them taking a quarterback in the second round. But the interesting thing will be is that for them, I think they pass initially to see what happens, right? Because we've seen mocks with 2 quarterbacks in the first round. We've seen mocks with 5 quarterbacks in the first round. And so if you're Carolina, you still need an offensive line no matter what. I think that's the direction they should go if they can't trade down. And then you see the board and how it looks and potentially trade up into the first if you need to get a quarterback. And I think that's how I would play it personally. I don't think taking quarterback at 6 makes sense. If they feel like they have to do that, then maybe they do that. But at some point, and Cole's saying here they don't have a second, that's fine. I mean, you
They
can
don't
still
pick
make a
again.
trade
They don't
after.
pick again until the 4th round after pick 6. What the hell did they trade? Where did all their
Well,
damn picks go?
I think part of it was in the Teddy Bridgewater trade, right? I think that must have been one of them. The second,
Man,
right, to go get Sam Darnold was definitely one of them.
man.
They made some bad trades, and then one of them was to get C.J. Henderson, right? Didn't they trade a second or a third and the tight end
Oof.
to go get C.J. Henderson, former first round pick from the Jaguars? So there's a lot
Wow.
of trades they made that haven't worked out. But again, if you're an NFL franchise, are you letting Carolina off the hook and trading up to their pick? I wouldn't do that because I
Yeah.
don't really think there's anybody worth it unless you're going after someone else, right? Like you're not trading up for Sauce, probably. You're probably not trading up for a defensive lineman that high. Maybe you're trading up for an offensive lineman that high, but outside of that, I just don't really see it happening. But they need a quarterback. But if all they have is that first, they pretty much have to trade down or trade future assets, start leveraging some more, be like the Saints and just leverage every year and keep going. And
All
this is
right.
this is the one. This is the
Here's the
one right
one.
here.
And there's a lot of smoke coming out of the Dallas camp. You see, I got the star on. I'm an insider that they are open to moving up in the draft. And we've seen Dallas do this. It hasn't been recently, but I believe it was the 2011 draft. I believe it was 2011. I know I was in law school at the time, and they traded up to 6 to take LSU cornerback Mo Claiborne. I believe it was 2011. Everyone's talking about Kayvon Thibodeau sliding in the draft, and this is a very big position of need for Dallas. They need to improve their offensive line and defensive line. No, we don't want Treylon Burks to Dallas at 24. Absolutely not. If Thibodeau fell and Dallas were able to move up in the draft and acquire Kayvon Thibodeau, this would be awesome. Like, this would be. I still think he's the best edge rusher in this class. Mike said he won't slip past the Giants. I don't know. That's a bold prediction from this rumor mill. But if this were to happen, I would definitely put the Dallas Cowboy helmet back on
Oh no.
and be super excited for this one. What do you think about Thibodeau and the character concerns around him that
God.
everyone's pushing out right now?
For me, it's just I view him in the same way I think people view Jadeveon Clowney, and everyone tried to make him this bad guy, no work ethic, doesn't want to play, all these things. But the truth was, the dude did everything that he had to do in 2 years, and just took the third year off. He had to be there. There was no choice. The rules prohibited him from going to the NFL, and I think that's what happened with Thibodeau, right? Like he did everything he had to do freshman and sophomore year. Third year, the team was fine. They weren't that good. They beat OSU, and he didn't even play in that game. But overall, I just think that you're right? He's probably the best pass rusher in the class. I don't think it's Hutchinson. And so for me, I just think that if I'm Dallas, I think you got to go after him. But the question is that where do you go after him and where do you make that move? Because if you were Jerry Jones, right, where you could overrule anybody, you owned the Dallas Cowboys, where would you be targeting Kayvon Thibodeau? Because the only spot I really see on the board that I think could be a trade down spot is the Texans at 13 if they wanted to move down again. Because they don't really need players, but I think if they could get more assets in return, move down to 24, they'd be willing to do that. Because obviously the Cowboys aren't going to come up any higher than that. And then potentially the Giants. But I couldn't see the Cowboys trading with the Giants to trade up to get Kayvon Thibodeau. You have the Falcons at 8, Seahawks at 9. Maybe the Seahawks trade down, Jets at 10. We think they're going to keep their pick. Commanders, Vikings, and then Texans at 13. So where would you trade up to go get Thibodeau, and kind of where are your ass is starting to get hot when he's still slipping and you're feeling like he's going to go soon.
I don't think Dallas has the assets to move up inside the top 10, but if he were to fall outside of the top 10, which again, we keep saying these things can't happen. We see players fall every year, man. Like this isn't new to 2022. Every year, how did such and such fall? How did we allow this player to fall? How did we allow that player to fall? That shit happens, man. So I think there's a possibility he falls. There's a lot of I think unfounded negativity around Kayvon Thibodeau. So if he falls, I think outside the top 10, I think Dallas would make a play because a lot of the teams inside that teen range, you got a couple of quarterbacks that can come off of the board, some of the wide receivers coming off of the board.
Yep.
We'll see, man. It was a good rumor that I like to, as long as it fits my narrative with Dallas, then I'm all in. But I think outside, if he were to somehow go outside of the top 10, then, and what you need in order for that to happen is you need Detroit and Carolina to take quarterbacks. Like, you need those guys to put this quarterback scarcity, like the QB run, start that off. So if they can, if those things happen, I think there's a chance. There's some teams saying they like Jermaine Johnson more than Thibodeau, Trayvon Walker, Aiden Hutchinson. If you get those cornerbacks inside the top 10, there's a good chance, right? Sauce is top 10. If Stingley's top 10, 2 quarterbacks, a couple of edge rushers, Ike Ekwonu, Evan Neal, there you go. Like, there's a possibility. There's the case for him to fall outside of the top 10. Jay, I'm going to ask you right now, I want you to talk about the wide receivers. Where do you think they end up? Where do you think they land? Where do you want them to go? What are you hearing? What are you seeing about these wide receivers? Because I think night 1, tomorrow, that's about as fantasy relevant. I think it's just going to be a bunch of receivers.
100%.
I think we get, I'm going to say it right now. I think we get 4 quarterbacks in round 1. I think we're going to get 4 QBs in round 1. I think tomorrow night, Desmond Ridder, Kenny Pickett, Malik Willis, and Sam Howell will have been drafted. And those will be our 4 first-round quarterbacks. Not even
vouching for your boy?
Who's my boy?
Damn.
Who's my boy?
Did you say Corral? You didn't say Corral.
I said Matt Corral. Yeah, I said Matt Corral.
You said Desmond Ridder.
Desmond Ridder,
Malik Willis,
Kenny Pickett, and Matt Corral.
Oh, you said Sam. I thought you said Sam Howell. It sounded like you said Sam Howell.
No, I said Matt Corral.
Okay, well, so you are vouching for your boy. I'm with you. I think.
Yeah,
well,
I think we get 4 quarterbacks. I think we're gonna get 4. I think we're gonna get 4 in round 1.
Back to the receivers though, and I'll toss this to you in a minute. But there was a rumor that the Eagles want J-Mo at 15. The question is J-Mo gonna actually be there at 15? I don't think so. I think that the way it plays out, from what I'm seeing, I think J-Mo is going to the Jets at 10. Like, I think that they want a speed threat. And so, to your point, if they trade for Debo, this just wipes out everything. Then they have to figure out something else.
I said Corral. I don't care what I said. Corral, damn it. Sam. I said Sam Corral. Did I say Sam Corral? Go ahead, man.
You definitely said Hal, But yeah, so for me, I think Garrett Wilson's going to Atlanta. I think that seems to be consensus at this point. And I think that all the bookmakers think it too, so that's where I think they're going there. I believe that J-Mo is going at 10, but I don't know where that leaves Drake London. And if he goes at 11 or he goes later than that, I'm not sure. But I think that's where you're going to see a little bit of consolidation. And I want to see where Stingley goes, because Stingley's another guy that I think could push one of these wide receivers down a little bit. But see Matt Howell.
Somebody said Matt Howell. Corral. I think
Corral is the best one.
Oh man, I love y'all, man. God damn it. We'll run the we'll play the tape back. We'll play the tape back. No, I'm not betting Jay Rich on this one because I actually pay my bets.
Because the chat knows.
The chat got me.
And then the other question for me is Olave, right? Because if we see those 3 guys go in the top 12, like they're kind of projected to go, where does Olave go? Because I don't know if you've seen Olave's draft prop. It's at 16.5 right now,
Really?
which is,
Really?
bro, it's nuts. So it's crazy because I got to give a shout out to Elliot Chris, because Elliot Chris posted on Twitter. He's like, oh, Chris Olave and Treylon Burks props are out. I was like, oh, damn. Like, let me go see what they are. And
Mm-hmm.
he got Olave at 23.5. By the time I found it 5 minutes later, it was at 21.5. It moved to 17.5, and now it's at 16.5 because there's the thought that the Eagles at 15 are going wide receiver, right? So
Right.
there's the main turning point here. You have Eagles at 15, Saints at 16. A lot of people right now are projecting a tackle to the Saints at 16 and a receiver to the Saints at 19. But if this draft plays out the way I'm kind of projecting it now, Garrett Wilson at 8, J-Mo at 10, Drake London probably to the Commanders at 11.
Oh,
Then you
don't
have
say
the
that,
next.
man.
Then you have the next.
Don't.
Well, I mean, the Vikings aren't taking a receiver. The Texans maybe taking a receiver.
Maybe at 13.
Yeah, the Seahawks, they're not taking a receiver, right? They don't need a receiver. And then you have the Ravens at 14 before the Eagles.
Yeah,
the
they're not
Ravens
taking.
could trade out, but we'll see
Yeah.
what happens there. But for the Eagles, they're the ones that they say they want J-Mo. I don't think he's going to be there. Where are you at with Olave then, if that's kind of how it plays out? Because he's probably going to be top 15. If those three receivers are gone, Olave is probably the next man gone. I don't think it's Burks. I doubt it's, like Sky Moore, Dotson, Christian Watson.
No.
It's probably going to be Olave next. That's just where I think I'm at, man. I think it's going to be Olave. I don't think Treylon's top 20.
Yeah, I don't
maybe.
think so either.
I don't think so.
It's funny because, throughout, before the NFL Combine, I remember on the show, I know they're killing me, man. They are absolutely cat morale.
Cat morale is awesome. Oh my
how do I
goodness.
close the chat? I don't need to look at the chat anymore. But so before the combine started, man, Treylon Burks was already mocked like late 20s, mid 20s, late 20s. Then the combine had. I wouldn't be shocked if Treylon falls out of round 1. It wouldn't shock me if he's an early round 2 pick. That would suck, right? That would suck for the fantasy prospectus. I still would be in, but. Definitely wouldn't be a top 10 pick, but I'm hoping he's drafted late 20, later in the first round, which wouldn't be a bad thing because he's probably going to a really good team.
Yeah, that'd be good.
This Olave thing is weird because 16.5, 17 are the Chargers, right? So it's like, Do you think he gets to the Chargers? Now, let me just ask you, when you say over under draft slot, so if you take over 16.5, you're 17, 18, 19, just to clarify everybody out there, and then under would be, 16 to 1. So, man, and Elliott got it at 23.5 because that's where I said, I think 22 is his floor. I don't think he's going past Green Bay.
I don't even think 20. I think top 20 is almost locked in at this point for Olave because I think at worst so to clarify for people who aren't really as tapped in, I believe that the draft order right now, we have our top 3, and then I think Olave is next, and then it's probably Burks, just realistically. And so if we think that Olave is going to be wide receiver 4 off the board, which is kind of what it seems like right now, I don't think he's getting past the Saints at 19. Because I don't think they take Burks, but they might take Burks. And so for me, it's like the top 3, if they go in the top 15, then you have Philly at 15, they're talking about J-Mo, which means they're looking at wide receiver.
They're taking receiver. Then you have
Philly at 18 again. So I think Chris Olave is locked in top 20. I don't think there's any chance that he goes any higher, any lower than 20, because I think at worst he goes to the Saints at 19. And so after that, then where does that leave the Packers? Where does that leave the Chiefs? Because the biggest X factor in this draft, and we'll probably talk about it more tomorrow, is the Chiefs trading up. And where the hell did they trade up to get a receiver? Because they're just not going to get anybody at 28 and 30.
Jay, I'm just scrolling the rumor mill, and this Debo to the Jets thing for the 10th overall pick.
It's hot.
It's hot, and I know it is like everybody is saying it now. Again, smokescreen or what? But I'm just looking through it, and it is like. Debo saying, like, everybody is reporting to the Jets involving the 10th pick, which could mean more, man. So
crazy. And Debo says he likes 4.5 corners in the first. Ike actually said that too.
Debo said 4.5 corners in the first. Oh, I'm in on that. I think Sauce Gardner, Booth, McDuffie, potentially Stingley, Elam. I think you can get over 4.5 corners. I can see that. Olave, I mean, I wouldn't take him that high, but Jamison Williams. Think about the Eagles, man. Philly has had to draft wide receivers in the first round 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
That's insane to me.
And they're still terrible.
3 years
Like,
in
well,
a
not the
row.
receivers aren't terrible, but the team is terrible.
Well, one of the receivers is terrible, but
He's on the block. You saw the rumor, right? Jalen
What's the
Reagor
rumor?
on the block. They're
Ah!
taking calls. Maybe we can see if we can get some cash considerations for one Jalen Reagor.
That's like
I don't. That would be pretty
putting
good.
Putting Jalen Reagor on the block is like when I did the garage sale this weekend, where I had something in the fucking corner that had been sat there for like 2 years. It's dusty, it's old, it's got cobwebs, and I'm putting it out there for like $25, and people are just looking past it. And then you know what I ended up doing with that garage sale item from Saturday? When no one bought it, no one bought it. I put it on the corner with a free sign, and then someone came and took it. Right? Like it's shit. That's what they're doing with Rager. They got him in the garage sale. They've got him listed for a 6th-round pick. Nobody wants him. They'll cut him, and somebody will pick him up for free. It's just brutal, man. Brutal. But looks like Jamison Williams will be an Eagle if he's on the board at 15.
Yep.
That seems like what they want to do. I think that's a good fit for Philadelphia, and I think that would actually be good for Devontae Smith and Jamison Williams and Jalen Hurts and Dallas Goedert. Like, that would be, I think, a good landing spot for them for real football, and I think fantasy football purposes, it wouldn't be a bad bet either. It wouldn't be a bad bet either. What else is going on? What other rumors?
So
I'm good with nothing in return
There's one
for
that
Rager.
Debo is talking about right now.
Okay.
Is Stingley at 3, and so Elliott actually put out like a mock today, and he mocked Stingley at 3 to Houston, and I was like, wait a damn minute, like what are the odds on Stingley to even be the first corner off the board? They're probably pretty good right now. With the rumors, it's probably going down, but that would be pretty wild, man. Stingley was the guy freshman year, and
It's crazy.
Sauce became that. If Stingley comes all the way back, like just when you thought I was out, they pulled me back in. Like,
Yeah.
that would be nuts. And then Roro was actually saying in the chat, what if they trade Debo away for Elijah Moore, maybe even not, just for the 10th pick, and then they take Christian Watson at 10 to pair with Trey Lance, get the college teammates back together in San Francisco with that 10th
That
overall
would be
pick.
nuts.
Christian
that
Watson
would be nuts.
Probably
That
first
would be
or
nuts.
second receiver off the board at 10.
That
Maybe
would
not
be
first,
nuts.
but
That would be nuts.
blow
That would
the
be
board.
banana. That would be
Where do you
banana
draft
land.
him, though? Where do you draft him? Like, how does that not vault Christian Watson into the top 5?
Oh, I would not take him. Hell no.
But
If that happened,
what does that do to his
no.
value, though? His value.
It's gonna boost. It's gonna
skyrocket.
boost it up. And I'm not. There's no world. I don't care if Christian Watson was the number 3 overall pick. I would not take him ahead of Treylon Burks. I don't care. Like, I would not. I would not. I know. Listen, I'm in a.
Nuts. Could you imagine the reaction on the stream? It's like Christian Watson.
I'm in a group chat. I'm in a group chat with Derek Brown, Brett Whitfield, like some sharp guys. They compared Treylon Burks to damn Jonnu Smith, and I told him if I didn't love y'all, I'd leave this chat immediately. I'd be out of here. They compared him to damn Jonnu Smith. They're not big Treylon fans. Derek is a big. Check out D-Bro, Fantasy Pros co-host, man. Shout out D-Bro, my former co-host. But he's a big Christian Watson fan. But they compared him to damn Jonnu Smith.
Whoa, Brady, relax.
I wouldn't
500 is a little steep, even at top 10. Whoa.
Yeah. Thank you, Brady. Thank you. But I think it sounds crazy. But these teams are this whole pair the quarterback with their college quarterback, man.
They are a little crazy.
That would be nuts.
Too, right?
That would be nuts. It's just like luxury pick. Like San Francisco gets the 10th overall pick for Debo. Like, and they get Elijah Moore back. Fuck it. Just go get Christian Watson. Like, you want Christian Watson, Trey? Go get Christian Watson. Like, that would be insane. My last thing that I kind of want to talk about. So about the running backs real quick. What do you think is going to happen with these backs? Like, let's just predict give me the 5 running backs off the board in order. Because it's going to be spread across day 1 and day 2. Not our rankings, but how you think it's going to play out in the draft.
I think it's going to be Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, James Cook, Isaiah Spiller. 5. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
Pierre Strong. I'm gonna say Pierre Strong 5. I don't think it's
What?
gonna be Rashad White. I don't think it's gonna be
Pierre
Rashad White.
Strong.
So
Interesting.
I don't think it's gonna be Rashad White as the fifth guy. I think it could be Pierre Strong. I think I was gonna say Zamir White. I think it'll be a primary rusher. Will be the fifth guy off the board. I don't think it'll be Rashad White. So again, I don't necessarily hate Isaiah Spiller, but I could see someone just taking James Cook instead. You have the Georgia pedigree, you have Dalvin Cook's brother, all these things.
Yeah. I'm with that.
And then a little bit of stink around. So and especially from what we've been seeing, I think that's how it plays out. But the bigger question is that Houston seems destined to take a running back in the second round. You saw the Jets projected to take one, but almost every mock we've done, Houston is taking a running back. But what I ask you, Ray, is does Houston have the guts to take Kenneth Walker over Breece Hall? Do you think they have the guts to do that? Because I think there's a world where it happens, but do they have the guts to do that? Because all of us would think that's crazy. But I think there's a small world, a very, very small world, where Houston thinks that Kenneth Walker is a better fit with Davis Mills than Breece Hall. Maybe.
Let me give you what I think is going to happen with the running backs off the board. I think Breece Hall is going to be the first back off the board, and no, I do not believe Buffalo is going to take him at 25. I don't foresee that happening. I don't.
Yeah.
I think Breece Hall is going to be the first running back off the board. The second running back off the board, I believe, will be James Cook. I think James Cook is going to be RB2 off the board. Too much smoke around him, man. I wouldn't do it. Yeah. He is not my RB2. But I think the NFL, I think they're going to take James Cook as RB2 off the board. Then I don't know, man. I really think there's a shot that Spiller goes off the board third, but I'm going to say Kenneth Walker. Isaiah Spiller off of the board fourth. And then the fifth running back off of the board, I believe, will probably be Dameon Pierce. I don't think it's going to be Rashad White. I don't believe it's going to be Zamir White. The only other back that I think might sneak into there for that fifth spot would be Brian Robinson out of Alabama. You get the Bama bias, the big back. But I think James Cook is going to come off the board as the second running back drafted. I wouldn't do it. Don't like it. Not a big fan. I think he's the most landing spot dependent running back in this class. Don't really see a world in which I think his absolute maximum upside would be James White, like max upside, which James White was top 10 in PPR when given the volume. But I think Cook is I think the NFL sees how valuable those kind of pass catching running backs are. And they're gonna capitalize on it. And there is some name cachet. And if that happens, think about how high Cook would rise in rookie drafts if he's the second running back off the board. These things what's going to happen?
45 overall or something like second round.
He's just going to he's just going to propel up rookie draft boards, and this is going to provide an opportunity for us to catch the Treylon Burkses, the better players later in our rookie draft. So I think Cook's going to be the second running back off the board, man. Cole, I hear you, bro. Maybe. I hear you, Cole. I'm not the biggest fan either, brother. I'm not the biggest fan either. What I talked with Josh Larkey about last night is just because you draft these guys doesn't mean you got to play them. Draft them because they've got the value and then trade the shit out of them during training camp. You know what I'm saying? I'm with you. I get it, man. 199, never really carried the ball. And Debro said they're drunk on James Cook. They love it, man. It's the name, it's the versatility, it's the skill set. Now, what were you saying, Jay? Is Houston, are they ballsy enough to take Walker over?
You're saying Walker's got no shot of going top.
No. I'm not saying. I'm just giving you my prediction on how I think the backs are going to come off the board. It wouldn't shock me if within the first 5 picks, Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker come off the board. Like that would be chalky. But very think about it, man. Look how many running backs were drafted before Jonathan Taylor. Look how many RBs were. Yeah, Clyde and DeAndre Swift get picked before Jonathan Taylor. You know?
The NFL's a crazy game, man.
It's a crazy game.
We scout, we analyze, and it just
in what world
blows up in our face every time.
In what world? Think about that for a second. In what world do you look at Clyde Edwards-Helaire and then you look at Jonathan Taylor, and no shade to DeAndre Swift, but you look at DeAndre Swift and you look at Jonathan Taylor and say, yeah, give me those two guys before this guy. You know?
Yeah. It's nuts.
We say this, we do this game every single year, man. Every year we do this, right? And every year we get to the draft and we're watching and we're just like, how? How did this happen? I'm preparing.
It'll happen again.
I'm telling you, this is going to be the most unpredictable draft.
Yeah.
Here, this is what I'm going to do. This is what, for everybody that came back for the second part of the stream, appreciate y'all being here. We're going to get out of here. I am going to give away, I got some DD stuff. I got stickers. I've got some shirts. I got an extra hoodie. I want, on this second stream, top 10. Just give me the top 10 players. You must comment on the YouTube channel, right? Comment under this video. Give me your top 10. Whoever's the most accurate. I don't know who's going to go through this and figure this out. This is probably a horrible idea.
I will be the one to go through it and figure it out.
It's a horrible idea.
It's gonna happen.
Whoever can predict the top. Do you want to do 10 or 5? I don't even think people can get 5 right.
No, we'll do
I don't even
5.
think people can do 5.
Let's give them a shot. And then what's tiebreaker? Let's do one tiebreaker in case.
Tiebreaker. Okay. Tiebreaker. 5 picks in order, 1 through 5. That's all you got to do. Let's see who can get top 5. No, not fantasy relevant in the NFL draft. Like, yep. I want to know here. Traylon Walker 1, Malik Willis at 2 to Detroit. Sauce Gardner at 3 to Houston. We're just going to 5 to the Giants pick. The tiebreaker will be.
I know what it is.
What's the tiebreaker?
James Cook's draft pick. Whoever's the closest wins. That's the tiebreaker. Where does James Cook, like the actual draft pick?
The number, like 56?
Yeah, number. You got to give me a number as the tiebreaker. Whoever's the closest will win. If there's a tie for some reason.
And whoever gets, if you land all 5 of those, and there's timestamps on it, so don't try to, I can go back and edit it. We'll see that it's edited. There's timestamps on it. Whoever does that, I will mail you some Destination Devi stuff. I'll mail you. I got a signed jersey in there that I need to give away. I'll do that. Ooh. Make sure you subscribe. Yeah, signed jersey. Not going to tell you who. Not a player that I'm going to hang up in my office because he plays in the NFC East.
I don't even know the player.
But I have a giveaway. But you gotta, whoever's the most accurate, just 5 picks. This is how unpredictable this draft is. And then the tiebreaker, the number, like pick 60, pick 52. And if this is like Price is Right. If you go over, you're disqualified. You can't go over. It's got to be
going that way. I didn't want to go that route.
I'm going that route. Yeah, in the tube. Yeah, I didn't see the U, and I thought Roro said in tube comments. Yeah, Ro, in the YouTube comments under this video. After the show, not in here, Paul. After the show, you got to put it in there, and then you got to put the pick. And Paul did it just right. You got to do it just like this. 1 Walker, 2 Aiden, 3 Akeem, 4 Thibodeau, 5 Sauce, tiebreaker, pick 59. Perfect. Do this. Closest accuracy, you get a prize from me. I'll send it out to you. We'll link you and all that other stuff. So we appreciate y'all tapping into part 2 of the stream. I'm sorry. The houses should be done probably in another 2 months. They'll be done with our entire street, so we won't have to do this anymore. But enjoy. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Let's see. Yep, this is how I want you to do it. But you got to comment. And I promise you, I got you. Somebody said, I bet it's Ray's college jerseys. I played D2 ball, so they only gave us 1. So I'm damn sure I'm not giving that away. We didn't get a plethora of stuff to give away, and I actually stole it and my college football helmet. So I took both of those. But I got something for y'all. Comment. Whoever's the most accurate will do it. Wake up, draft stream in the morning. Draft stream at night. Wake up on Friday. Draft stream on Friday. It's a whole long weekend of draft fun. Oh, yeah. 2 super chat questions. Yeah, we do. We ain't getting out of here without the super chat. All right. Allen and Diggs for 24 first. Aaron Jones, Montgomery, Lamb, and Mills. Would you take the Allen side? Wow. Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs stack for 24 first. Aaron Jones, Montgomery, Lamb, and Mills. Give me Allen and Diggs.
Yeah.
Allen and Diggs. Yeah, Allen and Diggs. I like Lamb. I like Aaron Jones. Like the first. Like Davis Mills. Like David Montgomery. This is as lethal of a combination that you'll have for over the next 3 years in Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. I'd rather have that side. Where are you at, Jay?
Yeah. No, I'm with you, man. For sure.
All right.
Give me Allen and Diggs.
Allen and Diggs. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Good stuff. All right, and then we got Josh right here. Let's get him on the building. Javonte Williams for 107, 203, 207. Your thoughts. ETH. There we go.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah,
That's easy.
No, wait.
Do you want Isaiah Spiller or do you want Javonte Williams?
I want Javonte Williams. Yeah. Okay.
Whatever side the Javonte is, take that side or keep Javonte. Whatever it is that's going on here, just make sure you have Javonte on your roster.
Yeah. Javonte Williams. Give me Javonte over the one. Yeah, you're right. Javonte Williams, or Isaiah Spiller, George Pickens, and Rashad White. Yeah, Brian Robinson. That's a smash. This is actually good buy Javonte season. Good buy Javonte season right now, especially with Melvin Gordon coming back. People calling me crazy. Nah, man. Crazy doing stuff the right way. So that's good stuff, right? Marcus said this is the Jay Rich strategy. My boy Marcus said F them picks, bro. Jay Rich is F them picks to the fullest, man. We appreciate y'all tapping in. Join in tomorrow. Comment in YouTube. I'll give some shit away for free, and we'll be back tomorrow, man. I'm out of this thing. Peace.